Good day, everyone. Welcome to Trinity Music Academy and Allied Services Limited, Nigeria. So, I want to use this particular opportunity to explain what we mean by diagnosis and keyboard repair. So, I will use a very simple term. Diagnosis is just knowing whether a particular component is good or bad. So, that's the simple explanation or this simple definition I can give diagnosis. So, let's take it for example. This particular component is a linear regulator, so 7805. So if you want to know this, if this particular component is good or bad, so what you have done is diagnosis. And before you can diagnose, you must know the name of that particular component and the properties attached to it. For example, this particular voltage regulator has two main properties, and the first one is the voltage, while the second one is the ampere, which is the current that's being supplied. So you must know that what is the value of voltage this particular IC must give you, and what is the current value it must give you, and that is what we are going to test. So if it gives you that particular value, then the component is good. If it does not give you that particular value, then the component is bad. Like this one, 7805. So the voltage should be around 5 volts approximately, maybe 4.9, 4.96, 4.97, 4.98. So if it's giving you that particular value, so then you know that what this particular voltage regulator is good in terms of voltage. Then you should be able to test the current too. So the current that's supposed to come out of this particular voltage should be around 1.5 volts, 1.5 amps, sorry, 1.5 amps, and the voltage should be around 5 volts. And to test any component, you need an instrument to test. So for voltage, current, and all this one, you can still make use of the multimeter. But when it comes to digital motherboard, that you need to test the frequency, the oscillating value, and all these ones, then you need this oscilloscope, or you can get a bigger one like the ones we used to. So we have bigger ones, we have 2 channels one, we have 3 channels one, so that you can still use to test. So like all these ones as well, this is an SD-RAM. So I told you that you must know the name of that component. So after knowing the name, what are the properties that the component is supposed to supply, that's supposed to give out, and that is what you are going to test. So if it gives us the property, fine, that shows that the component is okay. If it does not, that shows that it's bad. So it will save your time in just removing one component, put it there back, removing another one, put it there back. So that is the essence of diagnosis. You'll be able to know that this is where I'm going and this is what has issue there. And before you can diagnose, you must have this what we call manual. So when you have the circuit diagram, you'll be able to know what are the components involved in a particular. But like this one now, if it has issue of power, these are most of the components related to power. This is the DC to DC converter. It's the one that converts the 16 volts to 5 volts. So we have voltage regulator here, 3.3 volts. It will convert the 3.3 to, it will convert the 5 volts coming from this place. It will convert it to 3.3. Then we have 1.2 here, voltage regulator. It will convert the 3.3 coming from this place to 1.2, and so on and so forth. And this particular one is also a voltage regulator. It will convert the 16 volts coming from the main board. This is not the audio panel. This is not the analog model, but this is for 433. But for 670, it will convert the 16 volts coming to 12 volts. Then this particular one will convert the 12 volts to 5 volts, which are being supplied to this one. So this one will take 12 volts. All this one, they are taking 3.3 and 5 volts. That is coming from this place and this place too. So you must know the name of the component. You must know the properties that you want to test. You must know the value that the property must give you, and that is what you are going to test. If it gives you that value, fine, the component is okay. If not, the component is bad. Another secret about diagnosis is that sometimes when you are testing inside the board, they keep that particular component may not give you the value, but when you remove it and test it outside, it will give you the value. That shows that the component is not the one that is bad, but there's another component that is bad that is affecting that particular one. For example, if this alternator is totally bad, so the keyboard is not all this one, they will not supply any voltage, whereas they are okay. But if you test them, they will not supply anything. But if you now remove them and test them outside, that's when you know that this particular one is okay. It is another one that is causing issue there. So it's a bit of complicated something, but at least these are the main things you need to know. What is the name of the component? How will I identify it? What are the properties I'm testing? What are the equipment or instruments I need to use to test? And that's all. So that is what we mean by diagnosis. Thank you.